Hello, girls. You picked a lousy day to swarm. Oh boy. Well, it's raining, and we're going to try to get you. I'll do what I can. We had had some lousy weather for a couple of days, followed by a bright sunny morning. That is the perfect recipe for a swarm. My back was still out. I was in quite a bit of pain. So Sandy, Mrs. Badger, went back to take a look around to make sure that everything was okay. Her report, however, was that things weren't okay, that we had a swarm hanging in the tree. No sooner had I gotten back there than the rain started. You'll notice that I'm knocking some bees down in the process. As long as the queen's up there, they'll go back to that cluster every time. Of course, there's a nice rainstorm going on. The first order of business with any swarm catch is to clean up the work area. Don't make life more complicated than it has to be. I want good access to this swarm. Luckily, the rain did subside and the sun started coming out, and that makes things a little bit easier. So I continued clearing out, and unfortunately a lot of our equipment got wet. You know what? There's a second nuke box in there that's dry. Every swarm catch has its pluses and minuses. I can think of a lot of things that would have been worse. However, one negative aspect of this particular swarm was they landed on a branch that was rather thick and was going to be very hard to shake. Sometimes it's best to just stare at the swarm and think to yourself, okay, what do I do if A, B, C, or D happens? What is the best way to get these guys, or at least almost all of them, into the box? I mean, you could sit there and knock a few out, but I wanted to catch the whole swarm. It was a good-sized swarm, probably somewhere between 3 and 5 pounds of bees. And that branch was stiff. Well, it's time to give them a shake. Or so I thought. So, that is one nice sized swarm. Now we're going to try to put them in a box. We'll see how that goes. Well, the chain seemed like a good idea, but I also realized it might not be the answer. So I had to have some other equipment on the ground ready to go if that didn't work. But first we'll give it a little test shake and see just how pliable the branch is. Oh my. Branch is much sturdier than I thought it was. Time for Plan B. This isn't as insane as it looks. Crab apples are a fibrous tree, so they tend to bend more than break when you weaken them. Maybe. Usually. Sadly a little out of frame. Hopefully I got the queen in there. Hell yeah. That's a swarm halo. In the shed is a yellow brush, bee brush. Try to get the rest of these guys in there. Mrs. Badger had been diligently helping me. I did call our own bee, but she lives a little further away, so it was taking her a while to get there. I didn't want to just leave them on the branch, because sometimes they find a home and leave. They seemed to be pretty happy with the box, which told me that the queen was probably in there. Still, I want to try to get as many in the box as possible, and there's a couple of ways of doing that. A bee brush can be an effective tool, but sometimes using a piece of waxed comb also works. They'll be attracted to the wax a little bit, and less likely to jump off of that than when you just knock them down. But even once the queen is gone, the scent of the queen can remain on the branch, or whatever they landed on, and the bees may return smelling that scent. Eventually, the bees that are in the box will start fanning. In fact, they had already started. And that'll push the pheromones around, and the bees that are in the air will settle to the box as compared to the branch. And that was happening, so I was happy about that. There were still quite a few there and a few branches in the way, so I decided to trim the area out a little bit to make sure that nothing was hiding that I couldn't see. We got about 5 pounds in here.
I can't.
Why?
I have to go and see them.
Okay. Well, I think they're not going as far now.
I can't put on the hat. Can you help me?
Well, Sandy will help you. She's on her way back, I'm sure.
She's not coming back. Because
She's done?
she's done. Where are the bees?
They're in the nose, yeah. Come on close, I'll show you.
What?
Come on, here, I'll show you.
I see him.
Probably out. And if you feel the weight of this box, feel the weight of how many pounds of bees are in there.
Oh, that's a lot of bees.
Yeah. They're
Yep.
in there. They're staying with it. I'm trying to make sure we don't leave a queen behind on the branch, and I want to take the branch out.
Why?
Well, otherwise we'll still pick up the scent where the queen was. It may go there. But I'd say we got almost everybody in the box, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's a lid there. So let's put the lid back on. Right there. We have a nice halo of bees coming down. Guys, I don't want to leave anybody behind, but I gotta leave some behind. That's just the way it works. We'll probably go to one of the other hives now. That is an impressive pile of bees. Hold that box. It's a cardboard box. There's nothing in it but bees.
That's a lot of bees.
That's a lot of bees.
All right, so where do we take them?
Well, I'll take it in there, but I'm going to keep them sealed up for a while. Well, the question is, are they down on the comb? Or are they all jumping at the top of the roof trying to get out? If they're down on the comb, I'm happy. If they're jumping at the roof, I may want to see. Here they are. 24 hours later. Not 24 hours later, it was yesterday morning. And they're down on the comb. That's good. That's a sign of acceptance. So, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this box out with the rest of the comb. That's a full batch of bees, that's for sure. I'm going to leave one space in here because I hope to get an anchor. An anchor is just a comb of brood that they will help make them see that this is their home. Get the bees off of it. Darn sure we don't have a queen. Well then, there's a nice larva. Okay, this then will serve to anchor that swarm. Once they have something to tend to, they're far less interested in swarming our swarm hive. And just gonna give them a little smoke. Very little, because I don't want to encourage anybody to abscond. Just gonna go right in the middle here. Well, there's some bees. I'm gonna drop all this in here. That one frame should serve as an anchor. Keep these guys happy. Welcome, our yet to be named hive. I'll call them Swarmy for now.